A 2019 peer-reviewed study found that a single plastic pyramid tea bag, steeped at normal brewing temperature, releases an estimated 11.6 billion microplastic particles into the cup. The researcher who found it said on record that she doesn't really think one cup of tea will kill you. What she said next is why this video exists. Tea producers have other options. They are choosing not to use them. After 60, you are more careful about what goes into your body. The brands with wellness stories, royal warrants, and organic seals are the ones with documented contamination in the cup. That is not bad luck. It is what happens when marketing does the work that testing was supposed to do. Of 10 popular brands tested in the most comprehensive independent analysis published, one came back with 0 pesticide residues detected. Not within limits, 0. It has no inspirational quote on the box. Independent lab testing commissioned for CBC Marketplace's 2014 investigation found Lipton tea samples with pesticide residues above Canada's allowable limits. Among the compounds detected, endosulfan, a chemical in the process of being phased out across dozens of countries and chemically related to DDT. Unilever's official response was that Unilever is fully confident in the safety of its teas. Lipton's standard yellow box bags are paper, but the heat seal is polypropylene plastic. Brewing releases some plastic particles at temperature. That is the standard bag. Lipton's premium pyramid line is nylon and PET mesh. The format, the 2019 McGill study, measured at 11.6 billion microplastic particles per cup. Not the same product, same company, plastic in both. Lipton sources through auction-based commodity purchasing, industry graded as dust and fannings, the smallest particles left after whole leaf processing. Volume and price, not traceability. Unilever sold the brand to private equity in 2022 for $4.5 billion, while the residue questions remained open. The Rainforest Alliance certification on the box verifies farming practices. It does not verify pesticide levels in the finished cup. The label and the lab result are different documents. Lipton is the brand nobody thought to question. The next one is the brand millions of seniors switched to when they started worrying. Bigelow runs more than 450 independent pesticide tests per production run, more than most mainstream competitors, and that testing record is the reason millions of seniors consider Bigelow the careful choice. When Mamavation sent Bigelow Cozy Chamomile to an EPA-certified laboratory, it found PFBA, a PFAS forever chemical, in the tea leaves at 2.37 nanograms per gram. 450 tests. Still there. Family-owned since 1945, the #2 U.S. tea brand by retail value and genuinely more rigorous than most of what sits next to it on the shelf. All of that is true. None of it prevented this finding. The Organic Consumers Association filed a lawsuit alleging glyphosate in Bigelow Classic Green Tea. Dry leaves at 0.38 parts per million, below the U.S. federal limit of 1 part per million, but above what the OCA considered consistent with natural label claims. Bigelow's CEO stated brewed tea shows absolutely 0 glyphosate. No published brewed tea testing has contradicted that. Bigelow's individual foil-wrapped paper bags are a genuine upgrade over Lipton's standard line. Their organic line adds USDA certification and is the cleanest version within the brand. The contamination appeared when a third-party lab went looking. What comes next did not need a third party. Sleepy time is not just a tea. For millions of seniors, it is a ritual, the chamomile bear, the mug on the nightstand, the signal the day is done. That is the trust this entry is about. In December 2012, Eurofins tested 11 Celestial Seasonings products. 10 of 11 exceeded U.S. federal pesticide limits. Sleepy Time Kids Goodnight Grape contained propachlor, a known carcinogen with no safe harbor level under California's Proposition 65. The FDA had sent Celestial Seasonings 2 warning letters for quality control before that test was run. The Eurofins testing was commissioned by Glaucus Research Group, which disclosed it would profit if Hain Celestial's stock declined, a conflict the script must name. The credible anchors are the 2 FDA warning letters and the California class action filed in 2013, which survived dismissal and remains active. Celestial's counter-testing found no pesticides in brewed tea. Eurofins tested dry leaves. The counter-test used brewed liquid. Not everything in a dry leaf leaches into a cup. Seniors drink Sleepy Time as an act of care. The contamination in a children's bedtime tea from the same brand lands where that care was living. What comes next charges more and has made the same promises since 1706. Twinings has held a royal warrant from the British monarchy since 1837. CBC Marketplace's 2014 lab testing found multiple pesticide residues in Twinings Earl Grey, including acetamiprid, a neonicotinoid insecticide, at levels exceeding Canadian limits, more stringent than U.S. standards. The oldest tea brand in the world, a commodity sourcing problem. Now owned by Associated British Foods, $17 billion in annual revenue. The heritage story runs on the same supply chain as every brand already covered. The price buys older language about trust, not a cleaner product. Neonicotinoids face growing EU restrictions due to environmental and neurological research. Acetamiprid is legal in the U.S. The EU standard is more stringent, and Twinings does not apply it to its standard line. All residues were within U.S. limits. The question is not whether Twinings is legal. It is whether the price corresponds to anything verifiably different from what sits below it on the shelf. The Royal Warrant performs trust work with the 60-plus demographic. That trust lands on a supply chain indistinguishable from everything else on this list. Twinings overcharges for residues you could get cheaper. The last brand sold organic certification as a guarantee. The FDA tested it in March 2024. In March 2024, the FDA's Pesticide Residue Monitoring Program flagged Yogi's Organic Echinacea Immune Support Tea. The company recalled 877,536 bags, the product bought specifically to protect immune health, distributed nationwide. FDA classification Class 3, not likely to cause adverse health consequences. Yogi's statement was that the traces posed no risk of harm or illness. No illnesses reported. Here is what the press release did not say first. Yogi found this themselves during their own internal audit and self-reported before any external enforcement action. They were being transparent. 877,536 bags were still in homes when they made that call. Yogi's explanation: pesticides from neighboring farms drift onto organic land. Accurate. Also, exactly the limitation of organic certification that no label communicates to the buyer. USDA. Organic certifies that the farmer did not intentionally apply prohibited substances. It does not certify that substances from neighboring farms will not appear in the finished cup. The Yogi buyer read labels, chose organic, paid more, bought this specifically for immune support. The failure the brand calls beyond its control is the gap between what the seal promises and what it can guarantee. Broken promises. The next three are what it looks like when none is broken. Harney and Sons tests all large tea purchases to EU pesticide standards, more stringent than US limits for several compounds, including acetamiprid, the neonicotinoid found in Twinings Earl Grey. Their organic line carries USDA certification with additional independent testing. They publish origin information and harvest dates. You verify freshness by when the tea was picked, not by a story about centuries of heritage. Founded 1983 in Salisbury, Connecticut. Still family operated. Hot cinnamon spice is the most widely recognized starting point for seniors new to the brand. Price: approximately $7 to $11 per box, comparable to Twinings at most major U.S. retailers. Available at Walmart, Target, Marshalls, and TJ Maxx, not specialty store only. The upgrade is in the same retail environment as the brands it replaces. For seniors paying Bigelow organic prices and trusting Bigelow's self-reported 450 test claim, Harney and Sons. Organic adds EU standard sourcing and USDA certification on top of in-house testing, verified by a third-party certification body rather than brand self-reporting. Twinings sold a story. Bigelow sold a testing count. Harney and Sons gives you a harvest date and a standard you can look up. The premium price finally buys something specific, and specific is what every brand on the avoid list failed to deliver. Traditional Medicinals was founded by trained herbalists, not marketers. That distinction is the entire entry. Every herb in every product is tested to pharmacopoeial grade, the standard used for pharmaceutical ingredients, for pesticides, heavy metals, and microbial contamination. A higher bar than organic certification requires. The bar that Yogi's supply chain did not clear. Bags are made from unbleached abaca fiber, no polypropylene heat seal, no chlorine bleaching, no plastic of any format. The bag answers the question the Lipton pyramid finding raised. For the sleepy time buyer, Nighty Night uses valerian and passion flower, clinically studied for sleep latency in unbleached bags. No carcinogen concerns, no class action lawsuit, no conflict of interest question on the testing. For the Yogi Echinacea buyer, Echinacea Plus Elderberry uses pharmacopoeial grade echinacea, verified for the specific compounds the clinical literature measures, not simply certified as grown without prohibited substances. Price: approximately $6 to $8 per box at Target, Walmart select locations, Whole Foods, and CVS. Celestial Seasonings named it sleep tea after a concept. Traditional Medicinals built its product around what the ingredient actually does. For seniors drinking herbal tea with a purpose, this is the first brand in this video designed around that intent from day one. The brand that passed the most comprehensive independent test of mainstream tea has no royal warrant, no wellness story, no organic seal. It costs what Lipton costs. It sits in the same grocery aisle. CBC Marketplace tested 10 popular brands in 2014, the most comprehensive independent analysis of mainstream tea published. One came back with 0 pesticide residues detected, not within limits. 0. That brand is Red Rose Orange Pico. Available at Walmart, Kroger, and most major U.S. grocery chains. Same shelf as Lipton. Same price, approximately $3 to $4 per box. Traditional paper bags. No pyramid format. No wellness claims. No marketing language designed to answer whether you should trust it. The 2014 date belongs on screen. No equivalent large-scale independent retest has been published since. In the most comprehensive test of mainstream tea brands, Red Rose was the only one to come back clean. The switch from Lipton requires no change in store, no change in price, no change in how you brew it. The most trusted tea on the shelf is not the one with the longest history. It is the one that passed the test nobody was watching. You have been walking past it every week. The brands that talk loudest about taking care of you are the ones on the avoid list. The brand that passed the test has been quietly doing it for 130 years. 3 things. Check your current tea bag format. If it is a plastic pyramid or silken mesh from any brand, switch to paper. The microplastic exposure comes from the format, not just the name on the box. For any herbal tea you buy for a specific health purpose, sleep, immune support, or digestion, look for pharmacopoeial grade testing. The Yogi Recall remains the most documented proof that organic certification alone does not meet that standard. If you are switching away from Lipton, Red Rose Orange Pico, same grocery aisle, same shelf price, 0 detected residues in the only comprehensive comparison study. Hit subscribe. We cover every industry built on the assumption that seniors are not reading what is in the bag.